Hi, my name is Oleksii, I'm CBDO on Fulcrum, and we wanted to start like a short chit-chatting with our clients, with our partners, with our employees, and talk more about what we do in Fulcrum, how we collaborate with them, etc. So today it's going to be a short chit-chat with one of our clients, Elay. He's founder of Buff. They just went on the IPO, and yeah, we just guessed that it's going to be interesting for you to hear how that journey looked like. Thank you for doing this, Elay.
My pleasure.
Yeah. First of all, wanted to ask you about the background and how it all started with the Buff from the very beginning, and what was the triggers for you to start the product.
Cool. So personally, I love to play video games, and I really believe in the gaming industry. Video games in general, entertainment sector. So we started it 3.5-4 years ago. We started with a vision to make something different in the gaming world, create a kind of loyalty program for gamers. As many startups, we tried a lot of MVPs to understand who we are, how we're going to do it. And basically we build a cool platform for gamers, a loyalty program for gamers, cross-platform, cross-game, and started to bring users and grown ever since.
Mm-hmm. Yep, pretty cool. Yeah, in regards to the MVP, how the MVP looked like in the very beginning, and how you learned to iterate over and over with that.
So when we started our current product and what we have now, we wanted to start small to make sure that the basic concept of our vision, of our product are working. So for example, we started only with limited amount of games that we support, let's say 2 or 3 games, popular games, and to make sure that the concept is working, and started to bring some real users, kind of a closed beta, attracted and see that the main metrics is working fine. We are really data driven, so see that the numbers are making sense, that the users are interacting with what we want to do, and did a lot of really fast iterations in terms of the product and see how the users react to them. And this was the initial version. It was desktop only application, and now we have many more games and cross-platform till we are with tons of new features.
Buff is pretty heavy on the tech, so basically there are a lot of pretty complicated technical aspects to Buff, because you have to to monitor the games simultaneously, some various triggers, etc. So it's pretty heavy on tech. How was that challenge approached by you guys from the very beginning?
So the platform itself is really technology driven. It has really smart components, including machine learning, AI, and basically that allows us to support what we want to achieve. Again, we started small with a lot of small features and ideas, and then we expanded the components and our ability to support multiple amount of games in real time with a lot of users playing and using our platform at the same time. Meeting the scalability issues as we've grown and many more users started to use the platform. Obviously it's the challenge, and to support in terms of the product and the user experience, plus all the data they invent. It's a lot of data we need to process. This was a challenge, and we built a really smart infrastructure to support it.
Yep. Okay. And also wanted to ask you about the first revenue, when you have generated it, how it felt like.
So for my personal experience as an entrepreneur and my previous startup, it was important for me to make revenue from day one, once the application was live. So even on the closed beta, the first user that came in, it generated some revenue. Maybe it was 1 cent, but it generated the revenue on his first engagement. And it's important for me personally, when I'm building a product, to show that it has a monetization of financial revenue future. So from day one, it was an important key when we implemented our technology. Obviously, the output and the revenue and the monetization improved a lot since then, but it was important to make revenue since day one, even small, and then basically to scale it up.
Yeah, pretty cool. At some point, you decided to outsource. Why this decision was in place, and what were the triggers for this?
So when we got to the fact that we said entrepreneur, we come more from the business marketing product side and less from the technical side. And we had to choose how we move forward. We have a vision, and now we need to execute on that, how we develop the most amazing product. And it's a matter of also resources of time, of my personal management time, obviously financial issues as well. And our decision was to go to outsource to help us to bootstrap, and in terms of really fast, and instead of spending our efforts and money on recruiting people and training them and managing them, to find a partner that we can work with, that will be able to execute on our dreams, move really fast, and also in terms of scalability, as we grow and we need more engineers, developers, QA, anything related to development, our ability to work with someone that can support our growth was a key factor for us to choose the outsource solution. So at the point of time we were at, I think it was the ideal situation for us.
And right now, and even when you started, what are the main challenges on the Israeli market to hire the in-house team right now? Before and now. So
it's always a challenge, and in terms of recruitment, you're doing for different talents. Talents can be from the marketing, product, development, and it's challenging in many cases. And again, you need to decide what you are focusing on. And our focus was, again, to start with when the core of the company in Israel was focused on the product and marketing and the business development side and management. And we decided to outsource initially the development part. And recruiting is challenging, not talking only in terms of financially, when it costs more or less. Obviously it costs more in Israel, but only in terms of resources it requires for you to screen, to recruit and manage them. So it's a challenge.
Let's talk a bit about the IPO, how the preparation to that looked like, and what were the challenges in this regard.
So when we launched the company, and obviously it takes time till you're taking shape, and in the past year or so we have shown a really significant growth and exponential growth, I would say. And we were at the point that we felt we are in a place that we can go into an IPO process. The process took quite a lot of months, a lot of attention from management and from a lot of people that help us to execute on the IPO. We had to do a roadshow, show it to investors, show it to the public, show basically what we're doing, and we had really good responses from what we're doing in the product, the technology, the growth, the revenue, the numbers were really, really good, and we were really happy with the results of the IPO.
And in terms of your feelings and how company changed before and after IPO, how your life changed and how company's life changed?
So once the IPO completion is kind of a binary, either you are succeeding on it or not. Once you complete the IPO, there are a few different factors to take into account. One, you have the public as shareholders. We need to be accountable and be really transparent. So it's from being in startup that everything is secured, don't tell anyone anything, and now everything should be out in the open. You need to report everything, it has its pros and cons, but it's different. Having the funds secured and ability to grow and do strategic planning for long term, it's obviously an advantage. And we have been really focused after the IPO about growing the team, in-house and outsource. Basically that will allow us to support the growth and basically to deliver to our investors and shareholders about what we want to achieve. So we've shown a significant growth in manpower, in marketing, investment, and many other verticals.
In terms of the future of BAF, what holds for it, and what do you see the strategic goals for the nearest future for you?
So we have an amazing product, and it's working, and we have a great growth. And our plan is to continue the growth, fuel it with marketing activities, and basically attract more users to come and use it. In parallel, we are heavily investing in technology and product, basically that it will be a much more robust and a better solution for what we want to achieve. It's a vision to control the gaming world and be an integral part of every gamer's ecosystem. We already plan to go into the more finance aspect. We're going to release a debit card in the US. We've signed an agreement with Visa. We are planning to go into consoles, much heavier into mobile and other amazing things that basically will allow us to approach more users, to be more attractive to the current user base that we have, and obviously to increase retention, monetization, and other KPIs.
And what would you say are the key metrics of success, or the key success factors which were from the day one of when BAF launched, or maybe not even launched, when it just was an idea, to the point you went public? Like, what was the most important factors for all this journey to happen, and what would be your suggestions or consultations for the entrepreneurs to have the same?
So we were really driven to look at the numbers. Numbers meaning what happens from the first dollar you are spending on marketing, how many users you are bringing, what the acquisition cost, how many users can come in with the marketing spend, how viral is a product, meaning how many users come through refer a friend or any other method. So basically the incoming users, now their engagement or retention numbers, so really monitoring the secondary retention, 7 days retention, and so on. And obviously the revenue, how much revenue we can generate from the users. So looking at the main KPI of active users, the monetization we are doing, and once we are able to show, okay, we are able to spend more on marketing, then we are able to generate more revenue. This is a great system that you can basically invest more marketing dollars, and then basically the business is growing. So really driven into data, activity, and monetization. It's the key.
I see. Cool. Then thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Yeah.